In this episode, we are going to learn the fourth strategy. The name of the strategy is waiting at one's ease for the exhausted enemy. Welcome to subscribe to the 36 Stratagems channel, comment or send us an email, and you will get an ebook about 36 stratagems on sale. It is an advantage to choose the time and place for battle. In this way you know when and where the battle will take place, while your enemy does not. Encourage your enemy to expend his energy in futile quests, while you conserve your strength. When he is exhausted and confused, you attack with energy and purpose. Wait for the right opportunity comfortably and occupy the favorable situation, while preventing the enemy's attack. Save your strength, and then take the initiative to attack when the enemy's morale is low. It is easy to win the fruits of victory. Delaware crossing the river in the American War of Independence. On Christmas Eve, 1776, under the command of General Washington, the Continental Army of the United States decided to cross the Delaware River at night and make a surprise attack in order to avoid the pursuit of the British. After the successful raid, the American Army did not directly pursue the British Army, but chose to rest and reorganize its troops. They used this time to provide tired soldiers with food and rest, and at the same time strengthened the training and equipment of the army. In the end, the American Continental Army took advantage of the darkness and bad weather in winter night to raid the British Army, captured 1,000 British soldiers, and won the first victory of the American War of Independence. This victory not only boosted the morale of the American Army, but also made the British realize that they were not invincible. We should not only save our strength and enhance our strength, but also keep the enemy on the run. If the enemy's power is depleted, our strength will naturally increase. First of all, we should be on the defensive, actively defend, while conserving our strength, and control the enemy according to the situation and mobilize him to run around in the preset battlefield. When the enemy is exhausted, his spirit is reduced, and the situation of the enemy and ourselves changes, he will strike after the enemy and break the enemy in one fell swoop. First of all, we must have enough strength. When our own strength is not enough to defeat the enemy, we should avoid engaging in direct war with the enemy prematurely. Instead, we should take the initiative to retreat, seize the opportunity, and expand our strength, so that we can become stronger from weak. When the enemy's strength is relatively strong, and the momentum is fierce, in order to reduce unnecessary sacrifices, we should take the method of mobilizing the enemy to run around, so that his physical strength is exhausted and his morale is frustrated, thus weakening his strength. Taking defense as the attack, sometimes defense is to prepare for a bigger attack, and sometimes defense itself is a special way of attack. At this time, no war is war, and war is no war. The so-called told even more in silence than they had told in sound. Under special circumstances, the proactive and self-defensive stratagem of not fighting will kill the enemy's strength and morale, even better than the effect of fighting with swords and guns. Wait for the opportunity, enter the battlefield as early as possible when the time is not ripe, have enough time to rest, make preparations before the war, and be fully familiar with the environment, so that you can grasp the initiative in the war. Strictly organize your own army, wait for the enemy's chaos, use your own calmness and wait for the enemy's impatience. This is the way to subdue the enemy psychologically. When the enemy is exhausted, sharply reduced, and the situation of the enemy and ourselves changes, seize the fighter plane and quickly mobilize troops to defeat the enemy. To be static, to be constant, to be changeable, and to be immobile, to be reckless. Regardless of the wind and waves, sit firmly on the fishing boat. If you follow the waves, then the waves will not stop, and you will be unable to cope. Only by fishing quietly on the shore can you wait for the fish to bite. Those who are good at fighting will inevitably avoid the enemy's strong morale, and attack when the enemy is exhausted. This is the way to overwhelm the enemy from morale. Use troops close to the position to meet the enemy from afar, use rested troops to attack the exhausted enemy, and use well-fed soldiers to deal with the hungry enemy. This is the way to defeat the enemy in strength. In the modern business field of making money by doing business, it is not an end to be willing to compromise and regress, but to win the opportunity by regress, rest and meditate, think of unexpected tricks and benefit yourself. Because the necessary retrogression is in exchange for greater benefits, you must not blindly act and fight hard with your opponents under unfavorable business conditions. You must stop and look for opportunities, wait for opportunities. And then compete again to turn defeat into victory. In the next episode, we will start the 5 strategy. If you want to listen, please subscribe to this channel and you won't get lost.